Hey, Craig Snyder here with the Craig Snyder Real Estate Team. I am your real estate wingman here in the Virginia Beach market. Today, we're going to be talking about beach living. It's right there in the name, Virginia Beach. Most folks who are moving here or live here, they want to live on or near the beach. That's why they came here. So we're going to talk about that today. We'll talk through several things. We're going to talk about where you might want to live, some of the things to consider, how close you can be, how much that's going to cost you. We're going to talk with you about, what can you afford for under $500,000. We're also going to make a little quick talk about Airbnbs, where you might be able to pull that off if that's something that you want to do as well. All right, so let's get started. First, if you were to go to craigsnyderteam.com, you navigate there, you're going to see our awesome website, and you can just scroll right on down. You can see a little bit about us as well as some of the properties. And if you wanted to, you could go right up here to maybe our featured areas. It'll take you right to some of the awesome neighborhoods that we could look at, and you might go right over here to something like Sandbridge. Takes you over to Sandbridge Beach, where you can look at all of the beach properties that are listed. You can sort by price, newest listings, number of bedrooms, all sorts of different things, as well as you can create your own searches. Well, what we're going to do today is, in the interest of time, I have created several searches already. And the first one we're going to look at is the North End. And if you look at the Virginia Beach area, this is the Atlantic Ocean. I'll zoom out a little bit here. So this is the Atlantic Ocean. This is Virginia Beach proper. And right here on this portion of the Atlantic Ocean is called the North End. We're going to zoom in there a little bit. And you can see you're just going to travel right up Atlantic Avenue all the way up until it goes Atlantic Avenue up into Fort Story, or you could take a short drive and go this way, right? So the North End has some great properties. As you zoom in, you can see that going up Atlantic Avenue, that's the only road going up here. And then you have these little, stem roads sticking off to the left and to the right. You've got the beach side and the shore side. And we can look all the way up here, if you go past 83rd Street, that it starts to get real nice and quaint and quiet. And that's some really nice areas to live. This is probably one of the most popular areas in Virginia Beach when it comes to beach living. Really a nice area. Now, as we look down here at the bottom portion of the screen, you can see where I've sorted it by price of this whole neighborhood, starting from lowest. And the lowest price property you're going to have is $459,500 in today's market. And if we were to look at this one, it's actually showing a single family home, but it is not a single family home. This is a condo. So you're looking at a condo at $460,000. So they're certainly, it's not cheap to get into the beach. Next, we're going to go over here to this. It's actually a duplex. So we're looking at one or more of a condo, I guess, one half of a duplex at $530,000, and then on to this single family home at $550,000. So here we are. We got a 2-bed, 2-bath, single family home. That doesn't look right. I mean, it's got to be more than 2 bedrooms and 2 baths in that one, but that's what this one is listed at. And then we got this property right here, $650,000, and it just keeps going up from there. Now we're at $660,000, $730,000. $830,000, and you can see if we go back down to the map, you see right here, this property is on the shore side. Now, if you were to go and say, hey, I want to walk across the street to the beach, let's take a look at that. We'll go to Google Maps here because that'll be the easiest way to do it. We'll do a little bit of street view. We'll go over here, and we're going to go up. Yeah, it was right about in here. So we'll go right in there. We'll grab our little street view guy. Boop. And there we are. All right. So there's Atlantic Avenue. Oh, that's the Edward Casey Institute. So we're looking that way. So that right there is the beach. And actually, this is an access road that we're on this side. Here's Atlantic Avenue proper. And we might just go right across the beach, or right across the street, rather, and right into a public beach access right there. And you'll see, if you're a dog walker, there's a little stand right there for dog walker bags so that you can take care of all your business when you go out there. Just realize that there are certain times of the year, basically from Labor Day to Memorial Day through over the winter, when it's perfectly acceptable to have dogs on the beach. Outside of that, it depends on where you are on the beach during the summertime. Sometimes dogs are not permitted. So certainly be aware of that as you're out there. So that's what it kind of looks like if you were up there on the north end and you wanted to cross the street. On the other hand, if you were, let's go back, whole property here, our whole listing here. You can see that we've got properties right on the beach. Let's take a look at this one. So that one right on the beach, you're going to be driving right up here to get to your property. You've got a driveway, most likely. I guarantee you they have beautiful views out over the ocean right there on the beach. You know, just a gorgeous home. Look at this one. And what's this one going to set you back? About 1.5, I think. Oh, let's call it 1.9. 1.9 million for this property right here. Pretty expensive. Depends on what your budget is. But what an amazing property that would be, complete with a virtual tour on this one right here. So that's some neat stuff, right? So we've got all sorts of great properties here. A lot of them are going to be over $1 million. Can you get into the north end under $500,000? Yeah, if you're willing to go to a condo. You're not going to do that in a single family home typically. There might be some situations where you can. It's probably going to be a fixer-upper if you do. North End is one of my favorite areas. I love going up there myself. I'll go up there with the family and the dog, and we'll go get to one of the public beach accesses, park along the street, and just walk down and go walking on the beach. Now, that brings up a good point. If you own property down there and you're on that beach side, you're going to have lots of folks who show up and want to go just do a little day trip to the beach, and they're going to park right on the street, right in front of your house. And there are certainly cases where people are, sometimes people are less considerate than others, and they might block a driveway or something. That's not, that's illegal. It's against the law. They can't do it. People still do it. And you just have to realize that if you live right there at that prime real estate, you're buying that house for $1.9 million, you may still have to deal with somebody showing up and bringing a cooler of beer down and their dogs and kids, and they might be inconsiderate when they block your driveway. So you just have to be prepared for that and know that that's part of that beach living lifestyle that you have right there, and when you have this awesome public beach access. All right, so that's the north end. Now we're going to switch over and we're going to move just a little bit further down the north end. We're going to look at the Bay Colony area. So when we were looking at the north end, we came down here. We had all the property down in here. And now we're over here in this North Lincoln Park Bay Colony area right here at the Cavalier. So you're going to go down Atlantic Avenue. You're going to see the Cavalier Hotel, this beautiful historic hotel up on the hill. And behind that, you've got Bay Colony. Bay Colony is an amazing little neighborhood. It's certainly not cheap to live there, but it's great because you not only have very close access to the beach, but you also are right here on Lincoln Bay. And if you are on one of these edge properties, I'll call them, you're going to have you can have a dock, you can have a boat, you can be right there on the water, or if you're inside, maybe you got a friend who's right there. But getting over to the beach, all you got to do, boom, pop out, you get on your bike, you can ride right out here to the oceanfront. So Bay Colony is absolutely a great place, a great consideration. And if we look down here at Bay Colony, sorted by price, cheapest right now is listed at $740,000. All you're going to see is single family homes in there, and at $740,000, actually, that seems like a pretty fair price. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. That's the price of living in Bay Colony. All right. Moving further south, you might want to try something called Shadowlawn. So the neighborhood of Shadowlawn is basically if you go down past the highway and you're down here at what we'll call the tourist area, and you go in a little bit, you're going to see that there's this neat little eclectic neighborhood, we'll call it, of Shadowlawn. I call it eclectic because through the years, there's been a lot of improvement through the neighborhood. I used to live down there right on Delaware Avenue, 20 some years ago, and you would have a great house, this rundown house, and then another great one, and then another rundown one. And through the years, that has really improved. The whole neighborhood is getting much better. There are certainly some interesting places still remaining in Shadowlawn, but for the most part, it has been amazingly rehabilitated. Now, it is not inexpensive to live here in Shadowlawn. Even though you're not right there on the beach. It is so close to the beach that you're just getting on the beach cruiser, riding it down in your flip-flops all the way down right to the sand, and you're getting right down there for the surfing championship or the concerts in the summer or beach week or whatever it is that you're out there to see. You are so close to it. Matter of fact, back in the day, it was not uncommon that people would do pub crawls or the Shadow Lawn Shuffle, and they would, just go up and down the beach, and then you just walk all the way to your place in Shadow Lawn. So again, looking at Shadow Lawn, assorted price, low to high. We've got it is a little more affordable down here. So this is, again, not a single family home. I don't know what's going on with the feed here, but that's absolutely wrong. This is obviously a condo for $340. And as we get down here, now we're into houses at $400, $650, $780, $780 on Winston-Salem. So certainly similar prices, but a little bit more affordable if you're down here in the Shadow Lawn. Why? Well, you're a little bit further off the beach. Kind of makes sense, right? All right. Moving on down further south, now we're going to go to a nice little place called Croatan right across Rudy Inlet. So if you look at Croatan is nothing but single-family homes that are there are beach homes, and they are set up as vacation homes. There are short-term rentals, and it's just a great little place to live. Now, you are right there on the beach. Think of it as more exclusive, more private, rather than public access. And if you look on the property sorted low to high, you're looking at as low as $550. Holy cow, that one's way up here, right? So you do have a couple of blocks to walk with all your stuff, but you're at $550, and then you're getting down here at $979. So you're already at $1 million and higher just to live in the Shadow Lawn area. And let's say you wanted that one. Look at those gorgeous homes. As you can tell, a $4 million house right on the beach. You've got a 2-car garage, and it's 5,000 square feet. Yep, 4,800 square feet on this property with an amazing view right on the ocean. You can't say private beach, but it's about as close as it can get. So that is Croatan, right there just south of the Rudy Inlet in Virginia Beach. The next one we want to go to, we talked about Sandbridge Beach. So we're going to go further south. Sandbridge Beach, as it's heading down towards, basically down towards the North Carolina, and you're going to find that there are just some gorgeous, big, giant, gorgeous homes down here. And they are, we'll just call them affordable beach houses, right? Because they're 1.2 million in this case. So 1.2 million is 2,500 square feet. Here's another one. This one's 1.3, then another one 1.3. There's a 1.3. You could tell that one's 1.5. Obviously, Sandbridge, it's a much bigger neighborhood than you had at Croatan. In this case, you have this beautiful $1.5 million house that is 3 houses off of the beach, and it's still going to cost you quite a bit. If we were to go back to the results and zoom in, let's find one that's right on the water here. Let's take this one right here. Boom. Let's check this one out. 2.3 million. Come on, baby. There it is. 2.3. It's not even right on the water. It's across the street. Look at that. Look at that thing. That thing's absolutely amazing. Now, that said, you could certainly, whether this is a vacation home for you, for the family, or maybe you want to turn this into a short-term rental or something, there are absolutely opportunities for you down in that region. So take a look, see if the numbers work. There it is. All right. Now, after you get done with Sandbridge, somewhere else you might want to go is going all the way up north to what's called Chicks Beach or Chesapeake Beach, Lynn Haven Shores area. Now, this is on the Chesapeake Bay. So everything we've looked at so far was over here on the Atlantic Ocean. If we go over here to this area, this is generally referred to as Chicks Beach. Technically, you've got Chesapeake Beach, you've got Bay Lake Beach, Lynn Haven Shores, Cape Henry by the Bay. Many people colloquially call all of this Chicks Beach. Generally, this is Chicks Beach over here, but people refer to Chicks Beach and they mean this whole thing. So that's what we're going to look at right here. As you can see right here in this green box, I have selected these 7 neighborhoods and subdivisions to make up Chicks Beach so that we can have a good representation of what's available up here in the Chicks Beach area. Now, there are over on this side over here, there are a lot of single family homes, some right on the Chesapeake Bay Beach. There are some condos. As you move further to the east, we have like tower type condos. Same thing over here in Lynn Haven Shores. And then we have a lot of like smaller 6-unit type condos, some townhouse type places. And then all the way over here, we get back into the single family homes. So there are a lot of different opportunities to, whatever you're looking for, you can pretty much find it here. So if we sort by price and we go lowest, boom, you're on Chesapeake Beach for $245. Now you're in a condo, you're going to have a condo fee. They're going to take care of maintenance for you. But if you live somewhere else looking for a beach getaway, what better way to do it? You don't want to have to be worried about power washing the sidewalk or cleaning the siding or fixing the roof or the gutters or anything else, preventative maintenance or repair maintenance after a storm comes through. You want somebody else to do that. That's where condo fees come in, and they're absolutely awesome, especially for a second home or a vacation rental or vacation property for you, right? So those are all good things. Now, if you go, on the other hand, if you want to live here full time, maybe a single family home, you want to avoid the condo fees because that's not something you want. There are great things here in Chesapeake as well, Chesapeake Beach, Chicks Beach as well. Let's look at this one right here. Look at this property here, $750,000. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,900 square foot home, and it's, tucked in right here, right behind that other house, right there on the beach. Let's look at another one. There's another one. There's another one. You got a whole bunch of stuff that's been fixed up, as well as some older homes that have been redone to basically catch up with the times. So there we are. That's what we're talking about. Beach living. We're talking about living on the beach. We're talking about, let's see, what else we want to talk about? Oh, Airbnbs. The last thing we want to talk about is Airbnbs. When you think about buying a property and renting it out as a short-term rental or an Airbnb, just realize that many places in Virginia Beach have become hostile to short-term rentals and Airbnbs. Specifically, I'm thinking about the north end of Virginia Beach. I don't mean that as disparagement. They are protecting their home values, their neighborhood. If you already own a Airbnb up there, you can be grandfathered in where it's okay to maintain it. However, don't expect that you're going to be approved to open a new one. There are all sorts of rules to get the special use permit so that you can start one. If you have a shared driveway, you have to get permission of the neighbors. You just have to get permission of the neighbors just to do it anyway up in the north end of Virginia Beach, and you're probably not going to get that permission. So that is a protection for all of the folks there because they have, they're already dealing with people driving up and parking and using the public beach access. And that, I think, was just a little bit too much. So there is a restriction on that. There's a certain number of parking spots based on a number of bedrooms, as well as the criteria to get a special use permit and to get started. Those things can change from time to time. And by the time I finish recording this video, there's a chance they've changed again. So I'm not even going to put them out. If you want to talk about that, give me a call. We could talk about it at length. On the other hand, as you move further south through that discussion, as we went down towards Shadow Lawn, Croatan, Sandbridge, now we're getting into areas that are actually very much pro short-term rental, Airbnb, and it's almost a business down there. So that is absolutely something that is valuable to you there, as well as up in the Chicks Beach area. Just realize that in all of those places, if you get into anywhere that is a condo or an HOA, you may have other restrictions beyond just the local laws. So just something to consider. All right. So there we are. We just talked about living at the beach living in Virginia Beach. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Craig Snyder, the Craig Snyder team, powered by Keller Williams Town Center, right here on the 7th floor of one of the buildings right at Town Center, Virginia Beach. All right. So numbers down below, CraigSnyderTeam.com. Talk soon.